All right, my name is Hannan Iftikhar, and I'm honored to be here with you guys today. First of all, I'd like to thank Miss Asia and TutorBees for this wonderful opportunity. I'm no expert, but I'd like to share a little bit about my life story and what I've learned from it, and I hope I can help and inspire someone along the way. So, a little bit about myself. I grew up in Hong Kong and moved to Pakistan when I was around 12. Growing up there was completely different from my life here in Pakistan. When we moved here, I struggled to fit in. I struggled to understand and blend in with the culture. Everything was new and familiar. It was tough, but nevertheless absolutely interesting, and it taught me a lot. With a little perseverance, I was able to survive the changes and grow along with them. Shortly after coming to Pakistan, I was admitted to Chandbagh School for my boarding education, and that honestly helped me tremendously. I got the chance to meet students from all over Pakistan and made some of my best friends there. Living in a boarding school made me a survivor and would later help me in my travels alone across the world. After Chandbagh, I started my A-levels in Lahore before moving to Prague for my bachelor's in Czech Technical University. Prague is definitely a city close to my heart and one of the most beautiful and lively places I've ever been to. But unfortunately, I was unable to complete my degree due to some visa issues and had to come back to Pakistan. It broke my heart, but I picked myself up and I decided to pursue a career as a commercial airline pilot. I completed my ground studies at Air Eagle Aviation Academy in Lahore, but then again, unfortunately, I was unable to start my practical flight training because I was not a Pakistani resident. This setback hit me really hard because flying had become something I was passionate about. I honestly felt like anything I tried to do was met with obstacles and maybe I just didn't deserve it. It took me some time, but I didn't let that defeat me. I always loved traveling and it gives me so much peace. So I started traveling to various countries across the world, seeking self-discovery and growth. Through my travels, I realized and started to learn about the fact that success is not just about achieving your goals, but it's about being fulfilled and at peace. I eventually moved to Hong Kong for commercial flight training with Cathay Pacific, but once again, due to the COVID-19 pandemic, my training was put on hold. However, I used that time to start a small business trading goods internationally and even started a private label online store selling pet accessories and products. In addition to being an entrepreneur, I'm also an aspiring author with the goal of inspiring others through my words and stories. As a traveler and author, I've learned that life is full of twists and turns, but it's important to never give up on your dreams and to always keep growing and learning. Which brings me to today's topic, mental health. Mental health is an incredibly important aspect of our overall well-being, and I'm looking forward to sharing my insights and experiences on this topic with all of you. So let's start by understanding how big a problem it really is. So in the slide you can see a short text I've gotten from World Health Organization, and it shows the situation in Pakistan regarding mental health. About 4% of all the total disease burden is mental disorders, and about 24 million people in Pakistan are in need of psychiatric assistance, which is way less than anywhere in the world. And it is something alarming that we as a nation need to be thinking about, we need to be talking about. So let's talk about it now. What is mental health? It's an essential part and aspect of our lives, and it affects us all in some way or another. It's not just about feeling happy all the time, but it's about feeling balanced, fulfilled, and at peace with ourselves. In today's session, we'll be exploring the importance of mental health and the various activities and techniques that can help us maintain and improve our well-being. So the way I like to describe mental health is it refers to a person's overall emotional, psychological, and social well-being. It encompasses how an individual thinks, feels, and behaves, and is crucial to their ability to lead a fulfilling life. It affects how one interacts with others, how they handle stress, how they make decisions and form relationships. Good mental health enables individuals to realize their full potential, to cope with the stresses of their life and work productively and contribute to their communities in a good way. On the other hand, poor mental health can prevent individuals from functioning effectively and can lead to a range of emotional, behavioral, and physical issues, which is why I think it should not be ignored or stigmatized like it is here in Pakistan. I think a lot of the issues we're facing today is because of lack of awareness in this regard. So, an analogy I like to use to help explain mental health is you could picture a weighing scale, and on one end you have positive emotions like happiness, hope. On the other end you have negative emotions like sadness, anxiety, depression, stuff like that. And I think it's absolutely normal to have negative emotions, and the goal should be to find a balance between these two extremes so that you can manage these emotions in a healthy way, and you can find the tools and support you need to live a fulfilling life, to have good mental health. So I like this famous quote by William James. He was a philosopher, he was an historian and a psychologist. And he used to say that the greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being can alter his life by altering his attitudes. So what this means is that we can change the way our lives, we can change our lives by the way we think about it, by the way we perceive things. If we look at life around us from a positive lens, that can make a big difference. So the question is, how can you take care of your mental health, and what are some tools that you could use to take care of it? So if you look at the slide right now, I've gathered some coping strategies that I've learned over the years that can be extremely helpful in managing your mental health. So the first thing is breathing. It seems like a very simple thing to do, but taking slow, deep breaths actually really helps you relax and calm your mind. It's actually a technique used by different armies around the world to cope with stressful situations. Just like that, exercise is also a very important part of our life, and engaging in physical activity can help release endorphins, and it can help lift our mood. Similarly, we can make to-do lists to prioritize tasks that we may feel overwhelmed about, and it can help us manage things. Another one I love is journaling or writing a diary, because it's like a conversation with yourself, and it can help you a lot just by talking to yourself or putting your thoughts on a paper and looking them from a different perspective. And these coping strategies are not they may not work for everybody, and I think everybody needs to find their own way, their own toolkit which could help them. One thing that I feel is very important myself is the importance of connection. We humans are social creatures, and strong relationship with others are essential for good mental health. It may be spending time with your friends and family, it could be volunteering or helping others, but a sense of community can have a profound impact on our well-being. If I look back at my life, I've been through my share of obstacles and setbacks, and the thing that helped me most was talking to someone and sharing it, letting it out. It could be a stranger, it could be a family member, it could be a friend, it could be anybody you feel comfortable talking to. Let me finish off with another quote. This is by Earl Nightingale, who used to be a renowned radio host in US, and he says, "We become what we think about." So it's basically a little similar to the quote I mentioned earlier, and it means that focusing on positive thoughts and behaviors can really help improve our mental health. It can change our perspective and the way we look at things, and that in itself can make a huge difference in our lives. So over here, if you look at the screen right now, I've prepared some resources that anybody interested could use these to help manage their mental health. These are some apps. If you'd like, you could take a screenshot right now. These are different apps, interactive apps that could help you in different ways. You can check out what problem you have and then check out the app accordingly. I'll let this sit for a minute so anyone who'd like to take a screenshot can. Other than this, I also have a resource list about useful and helpful websites, which I'll be showing right now. You're welcome to take a screenshot of this as well. And for me, all of these websites and apps have been beneficial, and in a world of technology and rapidly changing environment, I think we should use these resources to help ourselves. Okay, so now I'd like to introduce a book I've written. It's called Mind Matters, and it includes an inspirational story about Eve, who has problems in her school, in her career, and how she manages them. It has some interactive activities and the resources I've just shown before. And if anybody is interested in looking after their mental health, they're welcome to join me on Instagram, where they can get their own copy. And I hope I've been helpful today. If anybody has some questions, I'd be open to a discussion right now. Thank you everybody for your time.